I have 8 guys in front of me, and I want you to just tell me what's the likelihood of them re-signing with that team or moving on. And if they do move on, where do you kind of see this type of player? So number
and just
one,
for the viewers, this Puto, he never gives me the names before we get
Nope.
live. He just
I never do.
Slaps me with them and makes me. And then people want to be mad at me that I don't have every single fact straight when I don't get to prepare for this shit. Okay, he just throws it at me, and I got to pull the knowledge out of my brain on what I think. So.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. I sit here and I'm the dumb guy. I gotta prep and I gotta not guide the conversation.
I just go to mybookie.ag and look at whatever, but what the smart people think. That's all I really do.
So starting off with the hottest name in free agency, the number one name,
LeBron
and Tyrese Maxey. What's the future for Tyrese Maxey heading into free agency now that the Sixers are eliminated from playoff contention?
What's the future?
Yeah, what's the future for Tyrese?
He's going to be a Philadelphia 76er.
Yeah, he's
they
looking at a 5-year,
roughly $700 billion in cap space. They got like 3 guys under contract. Like what? Listen, I'll tell you, out of all the teams in the NBA, if I was a Celtics fan, I'd be really nervous about the 76ers this offseason because they have an amazing ability to add a ton of talent to that team this offseason.
Yeah, he's projected currently at a 5-year, $205 million contract. Or the other projection is that he just gets like a full max deal and he goes 5-year, $247 million contract. So those are the 2 current projections. The first projection is mainly based off of what the probability of the 76ers would give him, 205, and what he could potentially max get from another team, 247. So chances are he's probably going to stay right there in Philly. I think he likes what's going on there, especially with them moving away from the James Harden stuff and allowing him to fully emerge this year. Winning an award, obviously, for his most improved player. And obviously that goes into some of his contract decisions as well. So, yeah, he's most likely going to stay as a 76er for the foreseeable future.
Did you see today that Stephen A. Smith got caught with the fake social media post again?
No.
That fool bites on. So this website, it's called Ballsack Sports.
Okay.
Took like Shay's Instagram and made it basically look like he reposted the Clippers trade.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like throwing shade at the Clippers, and Stephen A. is like, why are we bringing this up? Why are we digging on? Will, why are we digging up the old shit? Why are we bringing this up? Why would you do this? And it's like, well, he didn't. It was fake. You got bought again. You got caught again by some website called Ballsack Sports.
Oh, what a national treasure.
Hey, if that's what it takes to be famous, we can name this the Ballsack Podcast. I don't give a shit.
Dude, balls and sacks, bro. We're talking about basketballs and sacks in football. There we go. The new name of the podcast, Balls and Sacks.
Deflategate. Yeah. Did you watch the roast?
I caught clips of it.
I highly recommend you watch the roast.
Okay, I gotcha. Number 2 I have on the list is Mr. LeBron James, who has a player option that is listed as $51.4 million. What is the future of LeBron James, and what does it really hinge on?
Bronny. Whoever drafts him.
And I know the Lakers say they want to make LeBron's wishes come true with that. But what's the I mean, where's Bronny really going to be getting
I think he probably goes in the second round. I think it's a second round pick that does it. The thing is do one of these other teams take a chance at, like the Kings have the 13th pick in the draft. I do not believe if the Kings selected Bronny James 13th that LeBron would come sign with Sacramento. I don't think that would happen. Right. I think that through his agency and his, the agents that control everything that happens in the NBA, it would be really bad for one of these teams to draft Bronny really high because I don't think that LeBron's coming. But, there's a team that picks in front of the Lakers that also live in play in California in the Golden State Warriors who, they called on LeBron at the trade deadline this year. They called on LeBron, and the Lakers basically were like, yeah, whatever LeBron wants to do. If LeBron wants to go, LeBron can go. Maybe they take Bronny. I think a slight wild card. The only other place that I would like to see, I don't want to see him in Golden State just because I'm sick of the Golden. Honestly, I hate the Warriors more because of their fan base. I really like the way they play basketball. It's kind of what the Kings have tried to do as well, but their fan base is just
and their
ridiculous.
Announcers are dog shit.
Oh, they got the worst announced team in the NBA.
Yeah.
But I think if I were to make a prediction on where I want LeBron to end up, it would not be in LA, although I do not see him leaving LA. Maybe going to Golden State because it's so close, but I just don't see it. I would love, love, love to see LeBron in New York next year. I would love to see him in Brunson. I just think that would be fantastic. Yeah, don't think it'll happen because LA to New York is a hell of a move, but I think that would be interesting as hell.
Similar type of vibes and glitz and glamour of New York, LA to New York. So it'd definitely be interesting. Yeah, and I agree. Everything kind of hinges on the Bronny decision. I think he's probably a Laker for the rest of his career, and I think he hangs it up. I think we have 2 years of LeBron. We got next year and one more, and I think it's solid. That'd be 23 years for him, and I think that's the number for him to stop on. Personally.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, if I were LeBron, I'd opt out of his contract and I would just wait because the Lakers are nowhere near good enough. The Anthony Davis experiment, I know they won the championship. I know they won the Mickey Mouse championship, so it's considered a success, but I don't think that dude's the guy. If LeBron thinks he's the guy, then that's fine. I don't think that people give LeBron enough shit for him pulling the strings of what happens in LA, bringing in Russell Westbrook and things like that. But I think he should opt out. And, if LeBron's, what do you need to sign another $60 million contract for? Now, I'm not saying sign for 10.
Yeah,
but
right.
If you wanted to make another serious run at the championship, you might think about letting the Lakers go out and spend some money to bring in some actual pieces. And I'm not talking about Spencer Dinwiddie on the buyout market. Paul George is a free agent. There's a lot of interesting things out there this offseason. And I think that LeBron should opt out and let the Lakers stack up and then take up the rest of the cap space. That's, I think that'd be the smartest thing for him to do if he wants to win another NBA championship.
And that's something to think about as we move forward with the rest of these contract decisions is, that potential of LeBron for signing less. And then, some of these guys may be coming over, including a Mr. Paul George, who is on a player option now currently looking at $48.7 million. Personally, for me, for Paul George, I think he stays with the Clippers. With the Clippers opening up a new arena, I think they're going to want all of the star power that they can possibly get in those stands. Like that's all he wants right now. It's all the owners want is he wants as much firepower there. And as much as we're going to talk about another Clipper a little bit later on, keeping Paul George in LA, the hometown kid in LA with the Clippers specifically, because I think they're going to do everything they can to keep him there. I think that's going to be really important because you lose Paul George. That was the whole point for Kawhi coming over. Kawhi wouldn't come over unless Paul George was coming over, right? Which you look back on the trade and for OKC and you go, damn, that's a really bad trade for the Clippers. At the end of the day, they got Kawhi and they got Paul George, and the name stakes a couple of years ago. I mean, it looks great for them, but fast forward a couple of years and it's not amazing. So I personally think he stays in. I think they're going to do everything they can. They're going to do the same thing what they did with Kawhi. They're going to bring him into the office and going to say, what do you want to stay? Or with Kawhi, what do you want to do to come over? And I think they're going to do what they can.
I honestly, I don't know what motivates Paul George at this point of his career, but it should be winning a championship. Yeah. And it ain't going to happen in LA because Kawhi doesn't ever show up. Like, he just doesn't. And you can blame health or you can blame whatever, but I said this last week, he's been a fucking weirdo with his injuries ever since the Spurs days, the way he, you let his team get himself out of San Antonio and all the other stuff. Hey, Paul, whatever happens with the Clippers going forward is going to directly reflect on you, number one, because we know Kawhi is not going to play the entire season. We know he isn't going to be healthy for the playoffs. We know if he stubs his toe, he won't play. Here come the haters, whatever. You should go somewhere to cement your legacy, man. Like, Don't
Yeah.
take the blame for Kawhi coming up short because he can't stay healthy or won't stay healthy or won't play or can't play or whatever the case may be. Opt out and go get paid, man. Like, he fits in New York. Why doesn't he fit in New York? The same idea of LeBron going over there. Why doesn't he fit in Milwaukee? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about salary cap. We all know how they manipulate the salary cap. Like, there's plenty of places you can go that give you a way better opportunity than what you have in the Clippers right now. Frankly, I don't know why anyone would want to sign in the West. I don't know why anyone would want to stay in the West. All you got to do in the East is you got the Celtics, and that's it. So,
Yep.
well, we'll see. I want to see him opt out. Now, will he? Don't know. I want to see him opt out because that changes the landscape of the NBA next year.
Absolutely. Looking at a player in the East traded for last year or this past year, Pascal Siakam is set for a new contract. And the whole reason of bringing over Siakam is that he's on his last year of his deal is to hopefully re-sign him. Looking at their cap space situation right now, it looks like the most money they can offer him is a 4-year, $183.2 million contract. But out in free agency, he can go forward and get more money than that. So looking at Siakam, what does he do? Does he stay with Indiana? I can't really get a vibe off him. Does he like his situation? What does Pascal really do here? Because he can get more money going elsewhere, but play for a non-contender that's not as young, and maybe he doesn't enjoy it as much. So maybe he wants to go a bigger market. Maybe that's what he wants.
Yeah, I think that there was a lot of talk about teams not wanting to trade for him because he wouldn't re-sign there, and then the Pacers traded for him. I think that extension's already agreed to. It may not be accepted and all that stuff, but I don't think you trade for him unless you have it hammered out. And another team that they can add a couple pieces and, take a next step next year. I would be really shocked if Pascal Siakam doesn't end up as an Indiana Pacer long term.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree there. You don't trade for him unless right at the end of the day. I think this next one is very, very interesting to me because of his age and what he can contribute to a team, still playing at a high level that maybe he doesn't get the praise that he deserves. DeMar DeRozan is up for contract. What does DeMar do? Because I see him personally moving on. He's looking at as high as a 4-year, $160 million contract potentially. That's the figures that he could go out and go get. I see him going to a contender and being a big piece. I would like to see him on one of these younger teams to make an impact, to really maybe like a Knicks team who's younger. And what are you gonna say?
Bring him to California, baby.
Oh, really? I mean, yeah, go home.
Let's move Harrison Barnes' decrepit old ass out of Sacramento.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Can't play a lick of damn defense, and slot him right there. You got Darren Fox, Keon Ellis, Kyler Murray. He plays for me, and I can't even get his name right. This is the thing. Don't call me a casual because I mess up some dude's name when Kyler Murray, who, hey, he may have been drafted by the NBA. He was drafted by every other goddamn sport out there. Let's get Harrison Barnes out of there and let's bring DeMar DeRozan in. I would love to make DeMar DeRozan a Sacramento King. Is DeMar DeRozan going to be a Sacramento King? Fuck no. He ain't leaving Chicago to come to Sacramento. I promise you that. But God, I would love for that to happen.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Maybe bringing him back to a California team is
Tyler
something
Murray.
to keep an eye on. So
again,
I'm not doing it. So Sacramento, Golden State, either one of the LA teams are all teams to keep a watchful eye on this offseason because they are all the California teams. And he grew up, did he grow up Bay Area? Am I wrong about that?
Maybe what motivates DeMar DeRozan?
Or maybe he's Compton. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe DeMar DeRozan. That's still California, bro.
No, I said Bay Area.
Oh, maybe what motivates DeMar DeRozan is he just lies awake at night and he dreams about lighting the beam.
You think so?
I think so.
He went to Compton High School. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it is Southern California.
Which is not Northern California. To anybody to anybody that's watching that doesn't live in California, people from SoCal don't claim Northern California. People from Northern California don't claim Southern California. They might as well be two separate states. So you don't get to say DeMar DeRozan went to Compton High School, so he might want to play in Sacramento. Not a similarity.
Right. Next one is your favorite player, James Harden.
What? James Harden should retire.
You think he should just hang it up? I don't think he's going to.
I think every team should protest him as a basketball player and not even sign him. I think, honestly, I think some teams should offer him a G League contract.
They should open up a club for him and just be like, hey, this is your club. They should make him
play for the Ignite.
He's going to go play for the Shanghai Sharks next. Most likely James Harden's still going to be playing. He's looking at it as high as a 2-year, $70 million contract. I don't know if I see him going back to LA. It'd be interesting to see, again, same type of conversation, to see if the owner wants to have as many superstars on that court to fill as many seats as possible. So bringing back a guy like Paul George or James Harden, maybe Paul George's stipulation is to bring back James Harden. So I'm not sure what the situation there is.
How does that make any sense?
For what?
Like, I think it's so weird to me at this point that don't these players realize that they're getting old?
No.
Like, do they not understand their mortality?
Nope.
Like, what is James Harden and Russell Westbrook do when you are staring at Ant, or you're staring at Shea, or you're staring at Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown? Like, does not move the needle. James Harden does not move the needle in 2024, 2025.
No.
James Harden, under the right circumstances, on the right team, may be able to take you over the top. It may take you from Western Conference Finals, Eastern Conference Finals to the NBA Finals. If he's willing to accept the role, if he's willing to accept the type of player he has to be on that team. Does that sound like James Harden to you?
No.
Hey, James Harden, we need you to be Ray Allen. Are you in? I need you to stand in the fucking corner and shoot the 3 ball. Are you in? No, of course he's not. Like, he still thinks he's like, I'm just saying, like, could he? Yes. Will he? I don't know. Maybe he hits his head in the offseason, forgets everything he's all about. I don't see it.
Yeah, I see him going to another playoff contender. I think that's where he wants to sign, and maybe not a playoff contender as in like those top 4 seeds.
He should sign with the Mavs.
The Mavs?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Him and Luka would probably have a fist fight at half court about who could touch the ball more. That would be great.
I see him going to one of those like kind of 8 to 10 seed where they're going to be playing in the play-in type teams. Maybe a Miami Heat. He might end up going back east where it's a easier conference to go play in is something that's a huge possibility in my eyes to try to get him to maybe to the next level. But I don't see him going anywhere making a huge difference wherever he goes. Next one is just for you.
What if he signs with the Suns?
Dude, honestly, I'd find that too funny. Like that'd be too good. Like you know what? Let's get all of the iso ball players on the Suns. I think that's fantastic.
I'll be 100% honest with you. Signing a top level point guard with their no cap space that they don't have is the only thing the Suns can do to get better next year, because they got to stop this whole Devin Booker primary ball handler thing. Like let him going back to be a shooting guard. So I actually don't think the James Harden thing would be all that terrible. Getting them a point guard next year, a primary ball, Chris Paul, when he was with them, and they made some moves and they made some noise because he was the primary ball handler. That's what the Suns need. Now, do I think James Harden's that answer? No, but hey, let's light Phoenix on fire. That would be fun as hell. Anyways, my favorite player is who were you saying?
This one's just for you. Big contract decision on Malik Monk going into this next offseason.
Oh, Mas Puto.
Projected.
Hey, listen. Vivek Ranadive, the owner, he tweeted out a photo today of him and Malik playing golf together with Mike Brown, who, interestingly enough, I don't know if you know this, had a mutual option for his 4th year as head coach, and he declined it. And they have not given him a extension yet. So he's going into his last season as head coach, as a lame duck coach, which is stupid as hell. So hopefully they announce an extension here soon. But I don't know what the Kings can do to keep Malik Monk. If the Kings want to move forward, and God forbid I turn my friends in Sacramento against me by talking crap about Sabonis. If the Kings want to move forward and get better next year, they need to find a number 2 option. They need to find a way to make Sabonis the number 3 option, because he doesn't do anything in the fourth quarter scoring wise. He doesn't score in the clutch. And all the time, what did you say?
I said James Harden.
Yeah, for sure. Klay Thompson. All the
Right.
games where we were unstoppable this year is when Malik Monk was our number 2 scoring option. So we need to find a way to bring him back. I just don't think it's going to be possible, because unfortunately the amount of contract that we can offer him is severely outweighed by the amount of contract that other teams can offer him. So he'd have to take a steep ass discount to stay in Sacramento, which nobody has ever done. So,
especially with his age, being young as well, but he's 26. Back to back should have been 6th man of the year. He's going to be a hot commodity in this. In this next year of free agency.
He does have a coke problem, so maybe he doesn't want to go to the big cities and he wants to stay in Sacramento.
I guess, yeah, maybe.
It seems like so long ago that he was suspended for doing cocaine he played for the Hornets, right? Isn't that who drafted Malik Monk originally? I think he was suspended.
Yes. Yeah.
He's such a great player, and he's just bounced around.
Yeah. It's funny that you bring that up. Another guy who's gotten in trouble and also plays for the Hornets. Last one, Miles Bridges is an interesting conversation to have because of his age, because of the level of talent that he has, and his troubles with the law is something obviously that has to be brought up. He's potentially looking at a 4-year, $60 million contract. Also, the other number I have is a 4-year, 75. That's like the upwards of a 4-year, 75 for someone that you're banking on a lot of potential. Miles Bridges, again.
We got breaking news.
Oh, shit. What
Jokic was named MVP.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Something that we said already. It's not super exciting.
It'll be more exciting that he won now if they get blasted in their 3rd game. They go down 0-3. That would be pretty funny.
That'd be great. So with Miles Bridges, what do you see the path for Miles Bridges currently? Is he re-signing with a team like the Hornets?
No.
To me, he seems like the guy who's just going to go get as much money as possible. Whoever offers him the biggest contract is the team he's going to play for. I don't think he really cares about winning that much personally.
Miles Bridges is an interesting player. I'm not sure if we should approach the conversation considering his history. Obviously, without his history, 4-year 60 would be a steal.
Yep.
I think he's a really good fit for like the 76ers. I think he's a really good fit for the Milwaukee Bucks. I think he is that piece that on its face doesn't like shock and awe you, but could really.
He's a good solid wing.
Take a team to the next level, assuming all his problems are sorted out and handled.
Yeah. For me, when it comes to Miles Bridges, this is a guy I think he's going to go to the largest contract possible. I think that's where he's headed off to personally.
Yeah, I mean, there's always that.